Hi, welcome to the Brad Links DIY YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay with Custom Love Gifts on location today at Dara's Garden. Today we're going to make mini pies in a jar. So let's get started. The items you will need are graham crackers or graham cracker crumbs, some pie filling, some butter, ground cinnamon, sugar, as well as your mini jars and a lid. The pie in a jar recipe starts first with melted butter, and it's super easy to make the pie crust. All you have to do is add your melted butter, sugar, graham cracker crumbs, and a little bit of cinnamon and mix thoroughly. You're going to want to start with a clean sanitized jar. All we did was steam these jars, or you can also boil them in boiling hot water. Take a heaping spoonful of your graham cracker crumb crust and put it in the jar, and then press it down with your fingers. Depending on the type of pie filling you're using, some pie fillings require for your graham cracker crust to be pre-baked. If that's the type of pie filling you're using, you're going to want to pop these in the oven at 375 degrees for about 7 minutes. If you're okay to use unbaked pie crust, you could also just push these down to make your pie crust form and then start with your filling, which is exactly what we're going to do today. If you're interested in making homemade filling, that would be so delicious. But I'm going to cheat a little bit today. I just got pie filling in a can, and today I chose cherry. So what you're going to want to do, this pie filling says that you don't have to pre-bake the crust, so we're going to start with it just like this. Take just a hearty scoop full of your pie filling and drop it in the jar. You're going to want to make sure that you stay away from the edges of the outside of the jar. If you get any pie crust or pie filling on the outside of the jar and then you try to seal it, it might not make a tight seal, which can result in stale pie crust. So keep it clean. If you happen to get any on the sides, it's totally fine. Just wipe it off with a wet paper towel. So after you do one layer of pie crust, I like to do another layer of graham cracker crust in there. It adds a little bit of texture to the jar and a little bit of color. And so one more topping of cherries on top of the pie crust is all you need. And then just a little tiny crust on top to make a graham cracker crumble. You're actually going to want to put this in the oven depending on your pie filling and what the instructions say. This particular pie filling needs to be baked for about 35 to 40 minutes at 475 degrees. I want you to know that it's easiest to put these on the cookie sheet whenever you're getting ready to bake them. And don't put the lids on. You're going to bake them unlidded. After you do that and they come out piping hot out of the oven, it's best to put your lids on immediately. So you're going to want to probably hold the jar with an oven mitt and screw the lid on, making sure again that there's no remnants of pie crust or pie filling on the threads of the jar, because you're not going to get a tight seal. Now, depending on how far in advance you're making your pies, you may or may not want to refrigerate them and heat them back up prior to the event. But I would say if you're making your pie the day of or the day before, it should stay nice and fresh for your guests. So once it comes out of the oven, you pop the lids on and let it cool. And if you're interested in decorating your pie in a jar with a fancy little outfit and cute little bows, we also have a DIY video that teaches you how to dress the jars just like these. These jars are available at customlovegifts.com and also locally in Knoxville at the Wedding Market. I hope you enjoy eating your delicious mini pies in a jar. Thanks again for watching the Brad Links DIY YouTube channel. I'm Lindsay with Custom Love Gifts, and thanks to all of our wonderful vendors that made this video possible, including Dara's Garden for letting us shoot here on site today, Euphoria Boutique for this pretty dress, and Melissa Tim Floral Designs for these gorgeous flowers.